So at last we now know what this new Necron model is, and it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. And if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Necrons and more, then please subscribe and hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. And don't forget, I'm giving away an Indomitus box set in my 20,000 subscriber giveaway. So check the video out that's in the description below if you haven't entered already. Okay, so we had another preview today from the Warhammer community team on Twitch. Sadly, I was at work, but I did manage to get a sneak peek of it, and of course, as usual, on the Warhammer community website, there is a post regarding what was released. And of course, today we're going to have a look at the new Necron model. Now, there was a fancy trailer that went with this model, so let's check out the trailer. Okay, not quite sure what to say about that. I suppose it was fun. However, yeah, it's not exactly 40k science fiction stuff, is it? It's the Wild West. Anyway, regardless, let's move on and have a look at our new model, which now we know is called the Hexmark Destroyer. Finally, we get to see exactly what that blurry model was hiding behind the monolith. The Hexmark Destroyer is a Deathmark who has fallen to the Destroyer curse and wants nothing other than to kill absolutely everything around it. While other destroyers fly around with massive cannons or scuttle forward with phase blades, the Hexmark Destroyer takes the Deathmark's propensity for surprise attacks to epic levels. They burst from their dimensional oblates, the corrupted destroyer engrams, targeting and dispatching nearby enemies in a hell of enigmatic disintegration. Wow, why do they use such stupid words? In a hell of enigmatic disintegrator. In hell of enigmatic disintegrator fire. Damn, that was hard to get out. Okay, so this guy is basically a Deathmark who has fallen to the Destroyer curse, which is quite an interesting way to go. I suppose they had to come up with some sort of story to enable us to have this type of miniature, which is basically an assassin type unit. But there's something slightly different about our assassin, because usually assassins are designed to take out characters, but this guy is designed to take out units, which, after playing a game of 9th edition, well, yesterday, I can tell you now that this guy is going to be very useful to be able to deep strike him in, which he can do, because obviously he comes from the Deathmark's family. Deep strike in and actually target a unit on an objective is going to be very useful, and as you can see, he's got a lot of guns. Now, I did catch some information from the stream when I was at work, and they said he's got 6 guns and they're strength 6. He's ballistic skill 2, and apparently he can re-roll the 1, so he's going to get those bullets out. They said it's got an AP, but I don't believe they said what AP it was, and there was no talk about how much damage they do. However, they said he's got a shoot again ability each time he kills a model, so this guy is going to come down and do quite a lot of damage, which, as I said, if you've got a unit on an objective which the rest of your army may be struggling to get to, well, this guy could be incredibly useful. Now, he is a character, but he's in the elites slot. Interestingly, in the stream they said, oh, there's so many good units in the elite slot, it's going to be hard to maybe try to fit him in, you're going to have to make difficult choices. But actually, I hardly use the elite slot up that much, maybe just one unit from the elites. So I think we're going to be able to fit it. Stupid ambulance! So I think we're going to be able to fit him into our armies quite well. Now, how many of these we can take, I'm not sure. I don't think they said he was a unique character, so we should be able to take more than one of this unit, which could be very useful. Obviously, it's going to be point dependent, but of course, death marks now have a slightly different role with their new longer ranged gun, which is now, of course, a heavy weapon. Death marks are probably going to be deploying on the table, maybe in a building somewhere. So maybe now this guy's going to replace the job of the death marks and actually deep strike in, hopefully killing a unit. Of course, once that job is done, he's probably going to go down quite easily. However, his job would have been done. Assassinate a unit. Now, as for the model, I'm not sure I like it. It's very different. It doesn't scream Necrons, or at least traditional Necrons, at me. But I suppose it does look and fit into the new range of models quite well. Obviously, it's got the 3 legs because of the destroyer aspect. And he's got that sort of death marks feel about him. Apparently he's got 6 eyes, 1 for each gun, and each gun seems to have a laser to it. And of course he's got that big power generator thing on the top. Do I like him? I'm not sure. I'm still getting used to him, but I certainly like what he can do, and that's always a plus point. And I have to say, I don't think he's necessarily painted that well. I think the wires on the gun don't seem to be very neatly painted. The rest of him's okay, but I wasn't impressed with the painting on the wires, I must admit. But then, will I be able to do better? Well, we'll find out when I eventually paint him, because of course I'll definitely be getting at least one of these, and if we can take more than one, I'll probably end up having, well, more than one. Okay, so then they say, this new destroyer will make a fun and deadly, very deadly, addition to your Necrons, as well as looking immensely cool. Keep an eye, or 7, out for it shortly, after the Codex launches in October. Okay, so it's not coming out with the Codex, it's coming out just after. We don't know about the other models, the Silent King, the Void Dragon, the new Monolith. We don't know when they're coming. I would have thought at least some of them will come with the Codex. Obviously it's not going to be all of them, because some of these are going to be coming after, like this guy. But it's a big thumbs up to me at the moment for the Hexmark Destroyer. We'll have to see his full rules, of course, but I think he's a much needed unit in 9th edition for our army. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments box below, and if you want to see some of my other 9th edition Necron videos, well, here is a playlist for you to check out next. Beam me up!